Marcus spent his nights patrolling the silent, empty corridors of a luxury apartment building. Each gleaming surface, each piece of designer furniture, was a painful reminder of a world he couldn't touch. He wasn't just a security guard. He was a ghost in someone else's paradise. During the day, he'd scroll through social media, his heart sinking with every picture of exotic vacations and lavish parties posted by the residents he guarded. He was drowning in a sea of what-ifs, his dreams shrinking with every passing day. He'd look at his reflection in the polished marble floors and see a man invisible, a man whose potential was locked away tighter than the building he secured. The despair was a heavy cloak, and he was starting to forget what it felt like to want something more. One evening, a resident, Mr. Alistair, a notoriously private tech billionaire, found Marcus sketching in a worn-out notebook during his break. Marcus, embarrassed, tried to hide it, but Alistair's curiosity was piqued. He saw not just doodles, but intricate designs for innovative smart home devices. Instead of dismissing him, Alistair saw a flicker of the same fire he once had. It told Marcos potential is worthless until you act on it. Your cage isn't this uniform, it's your fear. What are you going to do about it? The words were simple, direct, but for Marcus, they were a lightning strike. That night, the silence of the corridors didn't feel lonely. It felt like an opportunity. For the first time in years, a seed of hope began to sprout in the barren ground of his despair. The conversation with Alistair became a turning point. Marcus started devouring books on business, technology, and finance. He spent his breaks not daydreaming, but drafting business plans. His small apartment transformed into a makeshift lab, filled with circuit boards, wires, and half-assembled prototypes. His friends and family were worried. They saw him trading his precious sleep for what they called a pipe dream. Marcus said, "Be realistic." His brother would say, "You're a security guard, not an engineer." The doubt from others was a constant, nagging voice, and many nights, staring at a failed prototype, Marcus almost believed him. He was exhausted, lonely, and haunted by the thought that maybe he was just a fool, chasing a fantasy. But then he would remember Alistair's words, and the feeling of being seen, truly seen, for the first time. One of his designs, a revolutionary home security system that used predictive AI to anticipate threats, started to show real promise. It was brilliant, far ahead of anything on the market. With a surge of newfound confidence, he prepared a detailed proposal. He knew his only shot was to get it in front of Alistair. Mustering every ounce of courage, Marcus waited for Alistair in the lobby one morning, his heart pounding against his ribs. He handed over the polished proposal, his hands trembling slightly. "Mr. Alistair," he said, his voice steadier than he felt, "you told me to act. This is me, acting." Alistair took the folder, his expression unreadable, and simply said, "I'll read it." The wait was agonizing. Days turned into a week, and Marcus's hope began to fray. He started to believe he'd made a huge mistake, that he'd overstepped his bounds. Then, one evening, his phone rang. It was Alistair's assistant. "Mr. Alistair would like to meet with you." The meeting wasn't in the lobby. It was in Alistair's penthouse boardroom. Alistair didn't just praise the idea. He dismantled it, challenged it, and pushed Marcus to defend every assumption. It was the most intense hour of Marcus's life. But at the end, Alistair leaned back, a slow smile spreading across his face. "This is impressive, Marcus. Very impressive. I'm not just going to invest, I'm going to mentor you." That moment was the start of everything. With Alistair's funding and guidance, Marcus launched Aegis Dynamics. The journey was brutal. There were manufacturing delays, software bugs, and ruthless competitors trying to crush his fledgling company. Many times, the company was on the brink of collapse, but Marcus, fueled by years of pent-up ambition, refused to quit. He remembered the feeling of being invisible and vowed never to feel that way again. Aegis Dynamics didn't just survive, it thrived. It thrived. Their security system became the gold standard, and the company's valuations skyrocketed. 5 years later, Marcus stood on the balcony of his own penthouse, overlooking the city. He was no longer the ghost in the corridors. He was a titan of industry, a Billionaire. He looked down at the luxury building where his journey began and felt a profound sense of gratitude. He often met with aspiring entrepreneurs, sharing his story and Alistair's advice. "Your circumstances don't define you," he'd say. "Your choices do." The biggest risk is not taking one at all. His story became a legend, a powerful reminder that sometimes the person who holds the key to the building is the one who will eventually own it.